Hey everybody, it's B Diz the Rockstar, part of SuperObvious. In this video, we're talking about a Franklin Scrap DLC from GTA 5 that will be for Jason and Lucia in GTA 6. Let's go.
This is a disaster!
Got the drugs? You don't want me to come with a gun in your face?
Please stop!
Give up the money.
Ryder, not this again.
Want me to fuck you up in his mouth? Oh, fucking shit! Can a low come up in your crib? Man, fuck you.
And life at risk.
This DLC for Franklin from GTA 5 takes about 10 to 15 hours to complete, depending on if you complete all the side missions or just rush through the main missions. The events of this DLC take place after the main story in 5 and after Franklin's The Contract DLC. In Los Santos, there has been a few UFO sightings within the last few days, like a good few, and it's to the point. Even if people are reporting fake news or photos are photoshopped that people are seeing just to have people talking. This stuff is happening enough to where it's starting to have those conspiracy theory people convinced that all this can't be fake and maybe something could be going on. Franklin goes to pick up Lamar to go to the studio to meet Dre to work on some new music. While driving on the way, Lamar is high as shit and talks about the alien sightings and conspiracy shit the whole way there. Franklin goes from contributing to the convo to getting annoyed as hell and wanting to kick Lamar's ass out of the car while driving. Lamar keeps going, saying how the government is hiding stuff from us, mentions Area 51 and how there can't be over 25 sightings and it all be BS. Also, the sightings are between 10 PM and 3 AM and it's around midnight, which has Lamar even more sketched out. They are running a little behind schedule after Lamar wants to stop at the corner store to get a 40. While at a traffic light, the radio starts spazzing out, and you hear a barely recognizable emergency announcement about a big UFO sighting that's by the lighthouse in Los Santos. While this happens, the radio cuts out, the car just dies, there's a super loud rumble, and the sky completely lights up to where Franklin and Lamar go from freaking out to being completely still and emotionless like their bodies just turned off. A few seconds pass, and the super bright lights and noise goes away. The car and radio is working, and Franklin and Lamar slowly look at each other, confused, like what the fuck just happened. Franklin checks the time, and apparently, a few seconds didn't just pass like they thought. They actually lost time, and hours have went by. Franklin checks his phone, and he has missed phone calls, texts, voicemails, and video messages from Dr. Dre, and Dre is super freaking pissed at Franklin for missing the studio session. Franklin speeds the rest of the way to the studio where Lamar is telling Franklin to slow down because he almost spilled his 40. When they show up to the studio, they get there just in time to see Dre walking the artist from the studio session out. He apologizes for the inconvenience and says he will hook them up next time when they come through to work on music. Lamar, being dumb high and drunk, says what up to Dr. Dre, and Dre ignores him and goes back into the studio and slams the door. Franklin gets more worried about how much Dre is mad at him. Frank uses his key card to gain access to the studio to talk to Dre and try and fix this. As soon as Frank tries to do the obvious apologies, Dre cuts him off and chews him out, with Frank not only being late, but not showing up for the session at all. Dre had to delay the start of the session, which has all his scheduling behind. He had to do all the setup, sound checks, engineering, and studio stuff. He has to take a financial hit, giving the artists and groups in his sessions this huge discount so they don't put out bad feedback or reviews online. And yes, even though Dr. Dre is Dr. Dre, he still wants those 5-star reviews online, which is kind of funny. He further chews out Franklin, saying that if he had unprofessional fucks like Frank when he was coming up, he never would have been one of the most known, famous, and respected music creators of all time. Dre tells Frank, "I think you're alright, dude. That's why I'm not going to fire your ass for embarrassing me in front of my clients. But if you ever do this kind of shit again, I'm going to fire your ass, and you can go back to the fucking hood as a low-life criminal being told what to do by those 2 white boys that you've been doing dirt with. Oh, and I know all about that. I'm trying to get you out of that and make something of yourself. I am the best for a reason, so get your shit together, otherwise I can make it to where music creators of any kind of status won't want to work with you, like ever." Frank is holding it in together on the outside, but on the inside is emotionally shattered because his idol just chewed him out to another level. Frank is about to leave the studio with his head down, and Dre stops him. He tells Frank that he is only being hard on him because he believes in him, that he can make it big in the music biz, especially under his wing. Dre explains that he is from Compton, and he had to work very, very hard to make it out of there and be one of the best to ever be a music creator. Frank apologizes for his unprofessionalism again, thanks him for the talk even though it's him being chewed out, and wants to tell him why he was late. Dre seems like he is going to get all fired up and yell at Frank some more, but when Frank tells him he feels he lost time with Lamar on the way to the studio and hours passed after they think they had an interaction with aliens, like everyone has been talking about in the Los Santos area. Frank explains all the details of what happened to Dre, and he believes him. He says how there have been some artists lately that don't even show up to the studio sessions at all that are scheduled, and he is Dr. Dre, and he never gets stood up. Artists, even established ones, feel like it's a blessing to work with him, so it had him already thinking that something is going on. Dre sees Lamar outside on the surveillance camera and shouts at Franklin to check Lamar and tell that fool that he needs to get his shit together because he is annoying as fuck. Frank laughs and continues to leave the studio. Dre stops Frank again and asks, "Those aliens didn't put nothing up your butt, did they?" And Frank says, "Nah, I think we're good." And Dre says, "Okay, that's good, because the aliens be doing that shit." So in GTA 6, this alien invasion is going to be transferred to Jason and Lucia, but obviously the story elements are going to be different. The twist is, it'll start with Jason and Lucia, but the actual invasion is going to happen while Jason is locked up, so Lucia will have to do the alien invasion on her own for the most part. While doing the missions of finding out info on the aliens or surviving an invasion, Lucia will also be trying to find a way to get Jason out, which will probably lead to a bunch of other people locked up being released, but it's kind of a plus for those who want to fight the aliens, or just see them getting abducted by aliens screaming like little bitches, which will have its funny moments. The gameplay will have a balance of intensity, emotion, drama, and jump scare story gameplay elements. I have videos talking about the Secret Agent DLC for Trevor in another video. I also have a video talking about the Zombie DLC that was for Michael from 5 in another video, and my scrap DLCs from 5 that will be in 6 series, so check it out. Oh, and the Rockstar announcement that you may have heard is that we are supposed to get an official trailer about GTA 6 in early December, which isn't that far away, so it's a big deal. But yeah, that's the video. Let me know in the comments how you feel about an alien invasion DLC that'll be in GTA 6. Out of a secret agent, zombie apocalypse, and an alien invasion, which do you think sounds like the most fun? Like and share the video, subscribe, tell other GTA fans to support the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Totally for sure.